Well, we have finally gotten our sixth installment of the Scary Movie franchise, and all that means is it's just time to rank them. Hello, everyone. My name is Jake from Talk Too Much, and today I'm here to be talking about the Scary Movie franchise. More specifically, we're going to be ranking all six installments of the franchise, whether it was in the Wayans brothers' hands, any of the other directors' hands where it becomes a big yikes. I will be directing them all today. And real quick, before we get started, let me know down below in the comments what your favorite scary movies are. I think for the most part, all of ours are fairly similar for which one is the best one. And real quick, before we get started, I just also want to let you know that my feelings towards my ranking for at least slot number 2 all the way down to like slot number 5, they all kind of fall in a similar rating for me. So I kind of have the same feelings towards them all, but there's just some things, at least humor wise, I like more than others. So I'll get more into details with that in the ranking. But let me know down below which one you think is the worst. If you think the newest one that came out is worse, I'd like to hear why. Because I feel like all of our bottoms, all of our tops are going to be fairly similar, just a little tweaks in the middle. Without further ado, we'll get started at number 6. And number 6, it's gonna obviously fall to Scary Movie 5. Now, this was the one Scary Movie that I did not watch before Scary Movie 6 came out, only because I knew it wasn't going to be a part of the continuity with Cindy Campbell, so I wasn't really that concerned about needing to watch this right before. When I originally watched it, I think I gave it more of a positive rating, but now when I rewatch it, I think several years later, I was like, wow, this is way worse than I anticipated it to be. Cindy Campbell is not in this movie at all, and believe it follows a love interest from the third movie and his whole separate life with Ashley Tisdale. You got parodies of movies like Evil Dead, Paranormal Activity, Ma, and I believe Black Swan is like the big one. Um, I like the ideas of the parodies other than Paranormal Activity, which was it was so stupid when they kept bringing it on. That was the only one that had me rolling my eyes and saying, "Oh, we're doing this again." I thought the Evil Dead parody was fine, but oddly enough, there's one scene in particular where, in the movie, where one of the girls that's like being possessed temporarily, she like splits her tongue, and when you look at it at the very end of that scene, you can just tell it's a hot dog wiener. And I didn't. That's where it really frustrated me. Where I was like, I looked at the budget. I was like, 20 million was your budget, and you couldn't give me something more realistic than that. So by the end of this, I was annoyed. I was just trying to get it over with. I mean, the only reason why it's not sitting at half-star rating for me is because Mac Miller and Snoop Dogg are in it, which, rest in peace, Mac Miller. But it's atrocious. It's just as bad as everyone says it is. Number 5 for me, and easily the most forgettable one on this list, is going to go to Scary Movie 4. Now, I couldn't remember if I watched this or not. So when my wife and I were sitting down and flipping through because we were going to get ready for Scary Movie 6, and we threw on Scary Movie 4, we both were looking at each other and we're like, have we seen this one? I don't feel like we have. And so I think it was a first time watch for me because if I've seen it before, I can't retell or recall a single thing that happened in this movie. I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about it. This was the point where the studio and everything really cut themselves at the legs because this one and I believe Scary Movie 5 were both PG-13, which already, I mean, you're losing an audience like that already, just simply with that factor. So the comedy doesn't work. It's so forgettable. Like I could maybe tell you, like, I think Million Dollar Baby gets referenced, War of the Worlds gets referenced. I think The Grudge is thrown in this one, but this is also when it starts to become a whole, okay, you have to do your homework and you have to watch these movies in order to understand the references. My wife did not like this movie because she hasn't seen any of the movies that it is referencing much. I got some of the references, and even still, I was just miserable watching this movie, and I was just like, let's just get this hour and a half over with. Number 4 I have on here, and please don't crucify me in the comments. I don't think it's a bad film. Like I said, they start to kind of even out, and I start to feel the same way towards a lot of them in the middle here. I have Scary Movie 2. Now, the reason why I have Scary Movie 2 this low on my list is just simply because the humor doesn't work with me. When I started watching this movie and I was going through it, after the first 30 minutes, I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, is this all going to be bodily fluid humor? Is that like the whole point of this movie? And that is the number one way you can lose my interest and just have me not find your film funny at all. Instead, I find it dumb. And it just didn't work for me. I don't care to rewatch this one, really. I don't think the Wayland brothers like lost their touch or anything at this point, but you can tell there were just a lot of things missing in it, and rather than having a little bit better jokes, they just kind of relied on bodily fluids jokes the whole entire movie. And that just didn't sit well with me. So, only based off preference, I have it here at number 4. Going into number 3 on my Scary Movie ranking list, we have the newest installment, which is Scary Movie 6. Now, I will say, probably over time, this is the Scary Movie that is most likely to age the worst. Not saying it's going to be as bad as 5. I don't ever see that being the case for this movie. I always think it will be better than Scary Movie 5. But when you, between Scary Movie 6, Scary Movie 2, Scary Movie 4, all 3 of these I can see easily changing out. It just depends on how well the jokes age. This one, it feels like they focus more on reference than they do on jokes. And so the jokes kind of slide on through. You don't really catch them, or they're just not as clever. And also, they throw in a lot of Gen Z jokes in here. And speaking as someone who is in Gen Z, I just know 10 years from later, when we look back on this, we're going to be like, wow, this is aged so poorly. This is not a good movie at all. Now, for the storyline it's going for and making fun of Scream 5 and having that as its parody, it's not the worst idea. Absolutely not. But it's throwing references nonstop to see what sticks to the wall. I got a couple of chuckles out of here, left and right. It was good to see Anna Faris come back as Cindy Campbell, and she kind of is the main reason why everybody's here for this movie. But, like I said, this is just one that's probably not going to age the best, and that's why I have it here at number 3. Alright, by now, I'm fairly positive that majority of you are fairly smart, and so you would already know what my number 1 is going to be, but it's my number 2 that is probably a shock to you, and I got to put Scary Movie 3 on here. Now, I think this movie is much better than what people give it credit for. This is when the Wayland brothers stepped away. They did not touch the franchise. And this was, I would say, the last good, decent Scary Movie that was a part of the franchise. Like the whole wrapping everything around between the ring and having that tie together with the aliens. It's as dumb and as ridiculous as it needs to be, but it works. Oddly enough, I like Charlie Sheen in this. I kind of wish he was better in the other movies, or at least more a part of in the other movies, instead of just being thrown into Scary Movie 5 with Lindsay Lohan. But I think the comedy here works a lot better for me, and that's why I have it as a personal reference, especially the 8 Mile scene. I find that hilarious every single time I watch it. I think it's great, but that whole scene in particular, I find it absolutely hilarious. And I've seen The Ring, and so watching it being parodied, I think it works a lot better, and it's a lot funnier. Again, personal preference here. So as for enjoyment, when I'm really going to, or if I'm ever going to continue watching this franchise after the first one, this is going to be the only one that I'm really looking forward to. And with me saying that, for obvious reasons, you can guess what my number 1 is that is the original Scary Movie. This is hilarious. It's so fun. It's so 2000s. The idea of it parodying Scream, throwing I Know What You Did Last Summer, and all the other jokes. It's funny. It actually works. This is perfect spoof comedy. I am not a spoof comedy guy. I'm going to flat out there and say it. Naked Gun, I thought it was alright at best. It doesn't fully work for me. Again, personal preference here. But the Wayland brothers taking what is Scream and just throwing all the references in there and making clever jokes that actually works and sits. We're sitting here 20 plus years later, and this has aged so well. And it's done so much better than all the other movies. Not talking box office wise, I'm just talking about enjoyment wise. It's done so much better. And that is why I can comfortably put this at number one. Because even if I was to rewatch this over and over again, I actually get enjoyment out of it. It's not something I get tiresome. It's not something where the jokes have aged poorly. I think John Abrahams is hilarious in this movie. Him along with Anna Faris are just absolutely adorable and just hilarious watching them going back and forth. But along with the ghost face reveals, I think it's just even funnier. I mean, this whole movie holds up. It still holds up. It's not going to age nearly as poorly as the others. And I would say by a long shot, I enjoyed this way more. I mean, at least by almost 2, possibly 2.5 stars more than Scary Movie 3, to give you an idea of how I look at this franchise. Now, do I think the Wayans brothers will ever create something as great as the original Scary Movie? I hope so. I'm going to be there for it. I want to see it happen. I do. I think Scary Movie 6 was a great attempt at trying to get back to the roots, but I think Scary Movie 7 could be something even better and something more along the lines of Scary Movie 1. So, with that being said, with no obvious shock here, Scary Movie lands here at number 1. And that's going to be all for my ranking for the Scary Movie franchise. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Like and share. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear which one you think is the worst. If you think one's worse than 5, let me know. I want to hear your beliefs. I mean, I want to know everybody's opinion, even if they think the newest one sucks. Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.